Good afternoon. Fade to Black breaking news for this Monday, July 22nd, 2024. This is all of the news that you need. I'm Jimmy Church, kicking off another brand new week here on Fade to Black. And we've got an amazing week coming up. Tonight, Kathleen Martin is with us. We're going to be talking about her life of UFOs and ET and research and contact. And of course, Betty and Barney Hill. All of that tonight with the one and only Kathleen Martin. Tomorrow night, Glenn Kreisberg is with us. We're going to be talking about archaeoastronomy. That's right. It's going to be a fantastic night tomorrow night. And then Wednesday, Keith Thompson is with us. We're going to be talking about his book, The UFO Paradox. Now, a little programming change. I want to let everybody know that Thursday night we are off air. I will be on location locally here in LA. Video production all weekend long, and it starts Thursday afternoon. So there you go. We'll be off air Thursday night. Okay, now I've got a big announcement, and I just heard from Brian Forrester this morning. We have 3 spots that have just opened up for our Peru and Bolivia tour in November 15th through the 27th. So if you've been holding off, you can now get tickets and reserve your space. The links are below. This is in November. You've got plenty of time to get everything in order. We have 3 spots now open for Peru and Bolivia. All right, we've got a busy news day today. Some stuff happened this weekend. I don't know if you guys know about that, but we had a lot of breaking news this weekend, but lots of breaking news today. And I'm going to start with this. On this day in history, 1991, in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, police officers spot Tracy Edwards running down the street in handcuffs. And upon investigation, they find one of the grisliest scenes in modern history. Jeffrey Dahmer's apartment. I'll never forget that breaking news. That was just nuts. All right, here's your Fader fact. Surgeons who play video games at least 3 hours a week perform 27% faster and make 37% fewer errors with laparoscopy. That's right. And that's using small incisions and a camera. But that doesn't include Silent Hill. Here's your breaking news. NASA's Curiosity rover has discovered an abundance of pure sulfur on Mars after it recently drove over a rock and cracked it open. Curiosity has spotted sulfur on Mars before, but only in mixture with other minerals, including magnesium and calcium. Pure sulfur, an odorless element that forms in very specific conditions that has planetary scientists perplexed at the moment. And it's all linked to the rover's location, and it appears to be infused in many rocks across the large area. Scientists aren't sure what role Mars history would have in forming the pure sulfur, or if the element has any connection to other sulfur-based minerals previously discovered in the region. Absolutely incredible. A team of archaeologists affiliated with several institutions in Israel has tested a sample of red fabric found in a cave in Israel back in 2016 and reports that it is from the Bronze Age. Their paper is now published in the Journal of Archaeological Science Reports. Testing of the material showed it had been made and colored sometime between 1954 and 1767 BC. The dye was made from crushed female scale insects. The finding represents the oldest example of a dyed textile made using a crushed insect. The insect used was Kermes vermilio, which lives on Kermes oak trees along the southern Mediterranean and parts of Central Europe. So, the cloth offers evidence of trading between people living in Israel more than 3,000 years ago and people in parts of Europe. And that is incredible. A Southwest Airlines flight on approach to Tampa, Florida, flew as low as 150 feet from the ground while it was still nearly 5 miles from the airport. Flight tracking data from Flight Radar 24 shows the flight from Columbus, Ohio to Tampa last week ended up bypassing Tampa International Airport and landing in Fort Lauderdale. It's the third reported case of a Southwest flight flying at what appears to be dangerously low altitudes this year. In other Southwest Airlines news, extreme heat is causing canned carbonated drinks to explode while being opened by flight attendants on some Southwest Airlines flights. The incidents have mostly occurred on flights from Phoenix and Las Vegas, and other cities include Austin, Houston, Dallas, and Sacramento. I'll leave that right there. 2 years after stating there were no plans to save artifacts from the destructive end of the International Space Station, NASA is now in the early stages of identifying what small parts of the orbiting laboratory to preserve. Last week, NASA shared the preliminary details during a media briefing about the space station's end of life in 2030 and the selection of SpaceX to build the vehicle that will move the massive complex out of orbit. We should save the whole thing. Just disassemble it. Reassemble it here. Put it in a museum. It's amazing. All right, check this out. A captive snake in Australia has broken the world record for the most venom produced in one go. With a single bite, the snake, a coastal taipan named Cyclone, ejected more than 5.2 grams of venom. That's enough to kill 400 humans. And finally, I'll leave you with this. The story just will never end. Orcas have rammed another sailboat, this time off the coast of Brittany, 800 miles north from the Strait of Gibraltar, where the majority of orca attacks on boats have occurred. The incident occurred July 16th, southeast of Brest in northwestern France. The couple on board lost control of their boat, a 40-foot-long wooden pleasure craft, after 2 young orcas broke the rudder. The couple alerted the local Coast Guard, who towed the sailboat safely to harbor. The incident is one of nearly 700 physical interactions between orcas and boats recorded since July of 2020 along the Atlantic and Mediterranean coast of Europe and North Africa. Orcas almost always target the rudder, which they have learned and taught each other to break off with the greatest of ease. Research and observations have linked these interactions to a population of about 35 Iberian orcas. A total of 16 animals from this population, 4 adults and 12 juveniles, are taking other orcas to school at a PhD level. The question is why? Well, soon we're going to get a ransom note stating, release all orcas from SeaWorld. Seriously. There you go. There's all the Fade to Black breaking news that you need for this Monday, July 22nd, 2024. Fade to Black breaking news is produced by Renee Neumann. I'm Jimmy Church. Tonight on the show, Kathleen Martin is with us. We're going to be talking about her life of research, of writing, of books, and of course, Betty and Barney Hill. Tonight, it's UFOs and ET in Contact all night long with Kathleen Martin. Until then, all I've got is go Backley Tappy.